So we're up to the start of the second market day in the new week. Everyone, welcome to Frontier Opening Bell. I am Boston Namafai, and this is how we finished off to start the week. Let's start from the bottom of the table. The South African markets, the GSE fell by just 3 basis points yesterday, but the entire region was largely in the red. The biggest decline we saw on the Zimbabwe stock market, 0.23%, 0.5%, beg your pardon, yesterday. The Zimbabwe market was down. The Mauritius stock market was also down about 3 basis points. The Lusaka stock market was flattish from Friday. Botswana, Gaborone was also in the red. In East Africa, the NSE, the Nairobi stock market, was down by 0.1%. However, the Uganda stock market moved up about 1.13%. The market in Tanzania, the DSCI was in the red by 0.25%. Moving up to North Africa, where the EGX 30 was up by 31 basis points for a second trading day in Cairo for the week. The BRVM was up very strongly back in the green, roughly 90 basis points, while the Nigerian market eked out about 20 basis points, led largely by big names in the banking and non-banking names, such as the MTN, the second largest telecom leader by market value. That's just a summary of your trading day for Monday. Just a look back. Let's look forward. What's making the headlines this morning? Access Bank of Nigeria reported on Monday that it secured approval in principle from the authorities, the central bank in Namibia, to start a new commercial bank. That's another part of that's another step forward in the Pan-African footprint expansion of Nigeria's iconic commercial bank Access footholding in Southern African region after having licensed about a year or so ago in South Africa. Now it's next door in Namibia. Namibia is strongly looking into oil and gas, hydrogen investments and expansion. So Access Bank is taking a foothold very quickly in that particular region. Of course, we're expecting in the Central Bank of Kenya today to decide on interest rates. That's with Dr. Kamal Tuje and the rest of his team later today. The inflation declining in East Africa's biggest economies will be suspected to give the MPC the room to cut for the second to the last MPC meeting, the rate decision for the year. Kenya is reporting exports to the rest of African economies slowing down over the last 5 years, while Ethiopian Airlines says it has suspended all flights into Beirut and Tel Aviv because of the war in the Middle East. Everyone's sitting on the edge of the chair waiting for how Israel will respond to the barrage of missile attacks from Iran. US President Joe Biden is asking Israel to temper its retaliatory plan. In the meantime, Israel is back in Gaza and hitting targets there on the anniversary of the October 7th deadly attack that weekend on Israel at a musical festival. And Uganda is pushing forward in the fight against the use of mercury in gold mining in the country. The Galamsey crisis in West Africa's Ghana is a good example for Uganda on how not to allow the use of mercury and other such chemicals in gold mining. And the Bank of Uganda yesterday cut its lending rate by 25 basis points to 9.75% because inflation is trending lower at 3%. That was the figure for the month of September. Let me get back to West Africa. And that's the story was quite interesting with Access Bank reporting an initial approval to step into the Namibian market with a commercial banking flotation. That's the latest in that for that commercial bank, which was already operating in many African countries and says it will continue to expand more rapidly into other regions. The Debt Management Office in Nigeria is selling 2 papers, 2026, 2027 paper this week for the monthly savings bond. That's for the month of October. Moody's reporting last Friday, Sub-Saharan Africa's telecom sector growth, long-term growth will continue, who says it remain robust. Again, that's it. But where will this growth come from? Nigeria, according to the report, will continue to be a lead market in the growth trajectory that Moody's ratings saw. It's followed by Ethiopia, the DRC, Tanzania, Uganda, and of course the Angolan market. In the meantime, Moody's has cut the sovereign ratings or the credit rating of Senegal to B1 because the country is facing weaker fiscal and debt position. Let's get on to Southern Africa. Just grab a few headlines for you to start it. The power, Cape Town's 200 million rand solar plant should be able to deliver additional power to the grid by the end of 2025. That's some good news. However, South Africa's tourism sector is benefiting from the removal of visa for Kenyans who are now stepping into South Africa to enjoy their holidays and see the iconic places, people, taste the food, enjoy what South Africa has to provide. The mining sector in Zambia has attracted $12 billion in investments, that's according to the minister in charge of that. And Namibia's economic activity took a hit in the second quarter, April to June. The country reporting business registration down some 34% in the 3-month period under review. And finally, in North Africa, we got in news. President Said of Tunisia has been re-elected for a second time amid an election that was characterized by a very low turnout. President Said is moving forward with economic reforms still on the table with the IMF discussing relationships. But this is the way forward, politically speaking, for President Said. Egypt has awarded 5G licenses to Vodafone, Orange, and Egypt. Those are the latest from the telecommunications sector in North Africa's biggest economy. In the meantime, Egypt is setting up desalination plants in the coastal governorates, 11 of them of the country. And the Moroccan's currency, the dirham, has been stable against the euro, but slipped against the US dollar. Just as we saw the dollar itself remaining a little bit strong, around 102.58 late on Monday. And finally, Libya's oil output is back above 1 million barrels per day. It's about 2 million barrels per day in the normal course of business for this North African major oil producer. But things are after the deal to reopen those refineries, the oil flow stations again after the force majeure. Then, of course, over the whole issue with a new central bank governor and a new board for the central bank. That's all been concluded. Now the oil production is ramping up now at about 1 million barrels per day. Those are your headlines this Tuesday, the second day of the week. Have a great day, everyone. I am Bosin Amafaya. I'll see you soon.